Hey guys, today we're going to talk about selecting the color range. So if you take your packet and move it to the page that says color range at the top, and then you're going to open up Photoshop and do a file, new 8x10, 150 resolution. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to open up a file. It's in your Photoshop Photos folder, and the file is called 1.brace dancing trees. So I'm just going to grab it, 1.brace dancing trees. So as I open this picture, I'm going to do Command A, Command C, Command W, Command V, and then a Command T to get it to fit on my page. And check mark. All right, so now looking at this picture, the tree is really interesting, but the background is frankly a little dull and gray and boring. So what we're going to do is we are going to select out a color range, and then we are going to change the background. So if we look at our steps in front of us, we'll go right down the line. So step number 1 is open a photo. Which we have right here of the trees. I just want you to note that I have a background layer that's just plain old white, and on layer 1 is the trees. So while I'm on the tree layer, I'm going to go up to select color range. And I'm going to get this window that pops up, and I'm going to select the color range. So what I can do is there's this little eyedropper tool, and I know from this picture this gray area right here is the most similar. So I'm going to just kind of click an eyedropper that area, and you can see the sample comes up on the little window here. I can increase the fuzziness or decrease it, but I really want to make sure that I have a good selection of most of the gray in the background. If I up the fuzziness, it'll start getting into parts of the trees, and I don't want that. I just want the sky. So right about here, and again, I select it right there. Then I hit OK, and you'll see a whole bunch of marching ants come up. So what's happening right now is we've selected the color range that's in that gray family. So again, step 1, we opened the photo. Step 2, we selected the color range. Step 3, we sampled the section and we adjusted it to taste. And now here we have step number 4, which says delete the background. So make sure you're on that tree background with that kind of boring gray, and you're just going to hit delete. And what's going to happen is you're deleting out the white background, and then a Command D to deselect. Now, right now you can't see much of a difference because our background right now is white, but we want to have a much more interesting background. So I'm going to do another Command O to open, and I am going to open up a sky file. There it is. The sky's in the bird composite folder. You can grab the sky out of the bird composite folder. We're going to open it up. And give me a Command A to select all, Command C to copy, Command W to close your window, and Command V as in Victor to paste it in. And let's just kind of stretch it out a little bit. And then I'm going to pull it to the bottom of my pile. So that makes my sky a little bit more interesting. If you want to be sort of funky and fun, we could even take this blank layer and come over here to our gradient tool, and then just pick an interesting gradient, maybe one of these purples, and click and drag a line. And there's a really interesting gradient that's a little different from what you would expect. So you have some choices here with what you want. But most importantly, what we're doing is we're selecting the color range and getting rid of that gray background. I'll crop it. And so what I need you guys to do is to open the file and select the color range, and then you're going to submit that. So the next thing we're going to do is a Shift Command E to flatten our visible image. So Shift Command E, and then we go Files, Save As. We're going to call this color range. We're going to give it a name, your name. I'm going to save it to the desktop so I can find it, and as a JPEG because we want to submit it under Schoology. And then we hit save and OK. and then you can close out of there and submit that for Schoology. So again, it's select the color range, and then also just note on your paper that you have your handout, it says to unlock a layer, double click the lock and rename the layer. You don't have to rename it unless you have a lot of layers and they're tough to see. So that's it. Thanks, guys.